The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he put this question to his disciples: Who do people say the Son of Man is? And they said, some say he is John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. But you, he said, who do you say I am? Then Simon Peter spoke up. You are the Christ, he said, the Son of the living God. Jesus replied, Simon, son of Jonah, you are a happy man, because it was not flesh and blood that revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. So I now say to you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of the underworld can never hold out against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth shall be considered bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth shall be considered loosed in heaven. The Gospel of the Lord. This very short but powerful dialogue that went on between Jesus and his disciples is a continuous dialogue that God does to us, to each one of us. Jesus spoke to his disciples and wanted to know who they thought he was, whether they loved him or not, whether they were ready to die for him or not. And they responded, they answered. He spoke to two particular persons in a different ways. To Peter, who betrayed him 3 times, he even had a separate dialogue. Do you love me? He asked Peter. Do you love me? For 3 times. 3 times he betrayed him. And at the end Peter was sad. He said, you know everything, Lord, so you know I love you. And with Paul he had also another different dialogue, but as maybe more powerful, miraculous one. Paul, who was actually persecuting Christians, and he stopped him on the way of Damascus and make him make a round turn in his life, becoming a great apostle and a great defender of the faith, and one of the pillars of the Christian faith that we have. These 2 examples of discipleship make us also believe that we too can be true disciples of Christ in different ways. We all have failed in our faith, one way or other. We all have betrayed God in one way or other. We all have sinned or done wrong things of that which we regret today. But this does not mean that God has forgiven us, that God has left us or forgotten us. He has forgiven us, and He is dialoguing with us. He is talking to us all the time in different circumstances of our lives, and He is asking us the same question: do you love me? Whom do you think I am? I am interested to know your relationship with me, your personal relationship with me, so that I know where I stand with you. He is interested in knowing whether we really and truly love Him or not, whether we truly believe that He is the Son of God or not. This is a question that is continuously coming to us every day, in the everyday experiences of our life, even in our relationships. If we are tense, if we are closed, if we look for vengeance, hatred, Jesus will not talk to us. Jesus spoke to his disciples after the experience of the risen Christ, spoke like this to them. He prepared them, and he's preparing us. The Eucharist prepares us definitely for hearing the dialogue, for hearing God talking to us. But we need to open our hearts. We need to do the human values that we believe in. We need to do them. The commandment of I don't want to do anything against anybody if I don't want it to be done to me. This is the principle of love that Christ has given us and that we need to practice every single day. And then our commitment to life, our commitment to true living in the human way that Christ has chosen us to live. This is being a disciple of Christ. It is not believing in the sky or believing actually in day-to-day running of our life, in being committed to live it to the full according to how Christ shows us to live it. This is becoming a living Christ in our day, in our lives, as Jesus is calling us continuously. Who do you think I am? And when we say yes, we want to say who you are, we want to answer by our life. This is how we believe that you are. By living you practically in our lives, by trying at the end of the day. We can't expect that we do not make mistakes or that we are perfect people or children of His. No, we remain human beings. We remain people who are not perfect until we are living on this earth. But we remain people of commitment. Why did He choose Peter to guide His church? Peter, who failed Him mostly of all the disciples, and yet He chose him to be the head of His new religion that He founded, as we found out in the Acts of the Apostles in the first reading that we went through today. Peter was the one chosen because Christ wanted him to be a rock, wanted him, yes, in spite of his failures, yes, He believed in him. And so God also believes in us, in spite of all our failures. He believes, because we are our creatures. He created us. He created our nature. We are humans as we are. God created us like that. And so He cannot not love His own creation. And so He keeps loving us. He keeps running after us, like He ran after Paul and after Peter, until we say, yes, we love you, we believe in you, and we want to follow you. Let's read the prayer that we have on the screens. The Lord asked, and who do you say that I am? Not just whatever churches say, not what the others say, but what you say within your heart. Christ Jesus, show us the depth of the wisdom and knowledge of God. Give us grace to be your disciples, and let us say with Peter, wonder and awe, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God.